Hello guys, welcome back to my channel JBR Online Classes. Like, share and subscribe my channel.
Hello everyone, so in this video I'm going to start direct and inverse variation. Okay, so what is variation? Suppose you have two quantities. Okay, suppose first one is pain and second one is cost of that pain. Okay, so here pain and cost are the two quantities. So if these two quantities is said to be in variation, then the increasing or decreasing of one quantity definitely causes the increase and decrease on the other quantity. Okay, that means here if the number of pain is increased, then definitely the cost will be also increase. If the number of pain decrease, then definitely the cost will be also decrease. So there are total two types of variation. First one is direct or direct variation. You can say direct or direct. And second one is inverse variation. Okay, so what is direct variation? Two quantities are said to be varied directly if the increase or decrease in one quantity causes the increase or decrease in the other quantity. That means in direct variation, if first one is increase, then second one will be also increase. Also, if first one is decrease, then second one will be also decrease. That means there will be same. If first one increase, second one will be increase. If second one decrease, then first one will be also decrease. Now, what is inverse variation? In inverse variation, there will be a change. What is the change? If first one will be decrease, then second one definitely decrease. And if first one decrease, then second one will be increase. So that is inverse variation. So here I am going to solve the first exercise, that is 9.1. And here in exercise 9.1, it's fully based on direct variation. Okay, it's fully based on the direct variation. So here the first problem, it's 1 1. Observe the following tables and find the value of x and y are directly proportional. So here's here x, here y. The first one is 5 15. Then next one 8 24. After that here 12 36. Then here 18 72. And the last one is 2100. Okay, so as here these numbers, you have to observe these tables are in directly proportional or not. So first one here 5 by 15. So 5 by 15 means it's 1 by 3. Now the next one 8 by 24, that equal to also 1 by 3. Next one 12 by 36, that equal to also 1 by 3. After that 18 by 72. Okay, that equal to here 18 by 72, that equal to 1 by 4. Last one 20 by 100, that equal to 1 by 5. Okay, so that means here first one, second one, third one, that equal to 1 by 3. But the next one is 1 by 4 and the last one is 1 by 5. That means here x and y are not in proportional, because if x1 y are in proportional, then each and every ratio will be same. So now the next one, here the next one 3 by 9. 3 by 9 means 1 by 3. After that 5 by 15, that equal to also 1 by 3. Then 7 by 21, that equal to also 1 by 3. Next 9 by 27, that equal to also 1 by 3. And the last one, it's 10 by 30, that equal to also 1 by 3. So in that case, here x and y are directly proportional. Okay, now move on to the next sum, that is sum number 2. In sum number 2, x and y are in direct variation. Complete the tables. So as here x by y, that equal to here 3 by 45, here 5, next one here 90, after that here 120, and then here it's 10. Now you have to fill the gap. So as here the first one is 3 by 45, and here the next one is 5 by dash. Okay, so 3 by 45, which is equal to 5 by dash. So you can write down here 3 by 45, that equal to, suppose this one is x. Okay, so it's 15. So from that, x equal to 15 into 5, 75. So write down here 75. Okay, so as same as the next one, as here 3 by 45, that means 1 by 15. So 1 by 15 equal to this one. Suppose here this one y by 90. Okay, so that one equal to 6. So y equal to here 6. So that one write down here 6. Now the next one, again 1 by 15, that equal to here, suppose z by 120. Okay, so it's 3, it's 4, 8. So z equal to here 8. Okay, now the last one again 1 by 15, that equal to, suppose 10 by it's p, let's p this one. So here p equal to 150. Okay, so that one equal to 150. So in this way you can solve the next one also. So now move on to sum number 3. So here in sum number 3, if 8-meter cloth cost is rupees 250. Okay, 8-meter cloth cost is 250. So here length of cloth, that is meter, and here cost, that is in rupees. So 8 meter it's 250. Next one 5.8 meter, and you have to find out the price. Okay, so here, as length of cloth and cost are in direct variation, because if the length of the cloth increase, then definitely the cost will be also increase. So you have to write down here first, length and the cost are in direct variation. You have to write down this one, remember that. Okay, now next one, as you have to find out cost, so first write down cost. Then as here this one is question mark, so first you have to write down this number, so 250. Okay, whenever you get the question mark, then you have to write down the upper number of that question mark. Okay, and as here the direct variation, so remember that, as here 8 and 5.8, that means 8 by 5.8. So in case of direct variation, you have to write down the reciprocal of this one, that means 5.8 by 8. Remember that in case of direct variation, you have to write down the reciprocal of this one. For inverse variation, you have to write down the same one, that means 8 by 5.8. But as here direct variation, so it will be 5.8 by 8. Okay, so as here 250 into 5.8 by 8. So if you divide 250 by 8, you will get 31.25 into 5.8, that equal to 181.25 as your answer. Okay, 181.25 as your answer. Now move on to sum number 4. Okay, so here in sum number 4, if a laborer earns 672 per week, how much will he earn in 18 days? So here earn amount, that is rupees, and here days. So earn amount, that is 672 per week, means 7 days, and now you have to find out for 18 days. So here the question mark, again you have to write down the relation first, that means earning and days will be in direct variation. So here a question mark is here, so first write down earn, so that equal to, first write down 672. Now direct variation, that means reciprocal of this one. Okay, so 672 divided by 7, it's 96. So 96 into 18. Okay, and that equal to 171728 as your answer. It's very easy. Okay, 1728 as your answer. Now sum number 5, if $175 cost 7350. So here dollar, and here cost. So dollar cost 175, $175, that equal to 7350. Okay, now next one, how many dollars can be purchased? So it's question mark, and here 24024. So again here dollar and the cost are in direct variation. So first you have to write down the dollar, that equal to 175 into, and they want 24024 divided by 7350. Okay, so as here 7350 divided by 175, that equal to here 42. Okay, so now 24024 divided by 42, that equal to 572. So your answer will be $572. Okay, now let's move on to the next sum number 6. Okay, so here in sum number 6, that is the last sum for this video. So guys, if you like my video, please share this video and please subscribe my channel. If a car travels 67.5 kilometer in 4.5 liters, okay, so that means here distance, so distance in kilometer, and here amount of petrol, okay, so that is in liter. So here 67.5 and that one equal to 4.5. Now how many kilometers will he travel? So it's question mark, and here 26.4. So as here distance and petrol are in direct variation, so first you have to write down here the required distance, that equal to, first write down 67.5, and as I said you here that direct means you have to write down the reverse, that means 26.4 by 4.5, so point cancel out. Now you have 67.5 by 4.5, sorry, by 45. So 67.5 by 45, that equal to here 1.5. So 1.5 into 2264, that equal to 396. So 396 kilometer is your final answer. Okay.